Hey, hi. So it's been a few days since my last video. I posted my last on my experience regarding NIMHANS during the registration process on Monday, the Monday that went by. And since then, I've visited NIMHANS two more times, one on Wednesday and then again on Thursday. But let me take you through the remainder of Monday. My previous video was more about the registration. And the lengthy process it involves and the time it takes, etc., so that you can come well prepared in case you're planning to meet the specialists at NIMHANS. Post that, I was called upon by the doctor that was assigned to me, and of course she was along with a junior psychology student, and there are a lot of interns and students coming in there to experience the whole process. I think it adds to their exposure, experience, and thesis that they work with in colleges. So it starts with the doctor asking me about, me and my wife, we both were there, about what it is like, questions right from birth, pre-birth, up till now, and how did we observe, how did we know what kind of interventions we have been doing. Basically, the background, it's like the history and background of it. One thing I must say though, that this doctor probably had some biases in her head, and I found that really weird. On two occasions she made a statement. On first occasion she said, hey, she looked at me and said, why are you only talking? Why is your wife not talking? I mean, I'm the primary caregiver now, so I think it's in my right to start the conversation. And of course, when I'm talking, she can't talk, right? So you have to allow us some time and direct questions related to both of us. So I found it quite weird that probably that question stems from the fact that, hey, the mother should be talking because she's supposed to know the condition of the child better than the father. And I ignored it at that point. In fact, I ignored the second statement also, where she was like, are you husband and wife? Because I don't hear her side of the story. So yeah, I mean, apart from that, of course, you're here for I was there for a bigger reason, and as long as that is met, these are things that by now I ignore. I don't take it to heart. So apart from that, she gathered all the information. She spent about 20-25 minutes assess through the questionnaire through me, and also observed his behavior, asked specific questions about the behavior. Then we again went back to waiting. What I understood that happens in that waiting after meeting the doctor is she takes it back to the professor, who is also representing the department, and not only her, all other doctors who are meeting their patients or children and adolescents in the spectrum. They take their case and discuss it with her, and she offers insights and observations and questions their analytical space, and I think they use it as a live learning ground as well, and that's when you keep waiting outside. So we waited for about an hour, I think an hour and a half after that meeting. So by now it was around 2:30, and she just, we just literally walked into her cabin and saying that he's not going to eat his lunch here, my son. We need to meet you, and so that we can take him out and give him his lunch, or make sure he doesn't get cranky by then. So we met her, and she observed. She asked a few questions. She tried engaging with Avu to understand how does he respond to her. She sang some rhymes and understood that he does a few things. So she was assessing him, where is he on the spectrum, just by those few minutes of question. And I think very practical, very learned, very professional, Dr. Lakshmi Shavanti, and it was her who I met in IIT Madras earlier, and she asked me to come and visit the facility. So if not for her, I probably would never have known of NIMHANS to this detail. So she offered some tips, and she said, we can work on a few things. You can work on speech, OT, and she gave her recommendations to meet those departments within NIMHANS. But the most beneficial till now for me was her introduction to the special educator. There's a gentleman by the name Mr. Swami, and very young, enthusiastic gentleman, very knowledgeable for his age, very, very experienced. He is averse with all kind of models that are there. So she directed us to him, and I met him around 3 on the same day. And of course, for the speech, OT, she got us a referral forms filled in for other days. I can go in future days as well. But she said, meet Swami, I think he's going to help you with what is Abu's condition better, and will teach you some of the home care needs, life skills, essentials, and direct you to a few special needs schools that would suit Avu's abilities.